We interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Alright, we're rolling. Hello, Tig.
Hi, Eric.
This is Eric, that's Tig. This is the Nerd Out With Me 90s cast. Yay, here we are.
Woo!
Hooray.
This is 91.
We're now in 1991.
This is January 91?
January 1991.
We made it!
Episode 13. We made it through the first year, first 12 episodes.
I'm impressed.
I guess. I'm not particularly impressed.
Eric is hot.
It's sweltering up here.
It's like I literally just sat down from going and getting beer, and I'm covered in sweat.
And you wanted to do this 2 days from now when it's going to be... I think
Yeah,
it was only in the 80s
worse
today. Yeah, it's supposed to be... A couple days from now, it's supposed to be in the 90s, so it'll be even worse up here.
And for people who don't know, obviously we record in an attic for people who do watch, but we can't run a fan.
No, because
you'll hear that constant hum.
Yeah, I can't work with it. It'll ruin the audio.
Right, so we have to suffer.
Our audio's sketchy enough as it is, and then, then there's that. So, this week, as we roll into January 1991, and I think by now, hopefully, everyone knows what we're doing. Every week, we're tackling another month moving forward through the 1990s, starting in January 1990, going through December 1999. We're going to talk about Wheel of Fortune's return to NBC, because it was actually bumped for a little while.
I didn't even know that.
It triumphantly came back to NBC after being there for 16 and a half years and getting bumped and blah, 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 blah. So we'll talk about that and probably segue into watching game shows as kids, because that was a thing, certainly in my household, yeah. Which, uh-oh, there's mosquitoes coming up here. Damn it. I opened up the windows to get us some airflow.
We might have to. I don't think there's any airflow. I think we should just...
Maybe that might not be a bad idea. Yeah, kill the... All right, so we'll do that after this segment break. Come back in a couple of minutes and we'll yammer.
Beep.
All right, we're back from that introductory segment.
Oof. It was the quickest intro ever, but
you think?
It's 91, so I think maybe we're getting better at it.
That could be.
Or it's just so goddamn hot.
That could be too. that very well could be too. So in January 14th specifically of 1991, Wheel of Fortune returned to NBC. Apparently, it had left.
Oh.
It had left NBC for a while.
I didn't know that it left. I did not know that it left. So yeah, I'd like to know I'd like to know the background of this story.
Well, what happened was the network Wheel of Fortune moved to CBS in 1989, and it was there until 91. So it had been with NBC originally since 1975.
Okay,
and that's one of the classic.
Oh yeah,
classic
Wheel of Fortune, and then everybody
one,
watched it, especially when it was huge with Vanna White and.
Oh yeah. Remember, Vanna White was like a celebrity at the time.
Weird.
Playboy appearances and stuff like that.
Just turning things, and what dress was she going to wear today?
Yeah, how strange is that?
Very
so yeah, it left. NBC actually canceled it in 1980, but it stayed on the air. But yeah, it moved to CBS in 1989 and triumphantly returned back home, sort of, in January of 1991. And I say sort of because by September 20th of 91, it had been canceled by NBC again.
It's so weird.
But obviously it came back because it's still on the air, and it's still it's still Vanna White and Bob...
Pat Sajak.
Pat Sajak, that's right. I was going to say Bob Saget for a second. and Pat Sajak.
Now these shows are the whole deal is they have sponsors and they give away a certain amount of stuff.
Right.
And if they're not getting enough sponsors, obviously, with their commercials, and they're giving away too much stuff whatever.
Should we do that? Should we get sponsors and give away stuff?
Yeah.
What should we give away? Well, I guess we need a sponsor first to decide what we're going to give away. Hey, if you're listening and you got stuff for us to give away, sponsor our show.
We'll give it away.
We'll talk about you nice. Not like we did Pauly Shore in that YouTube episode. And
promises.
And we'll give stuff away. So yeah. I mean that's and obviously they have advertising, but yeah, all their sponsors are giving all that crap away.
If they film Monday and Tuesday and they give out too much stuff, there's too many winners. The clues and stuff become harder.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, I didn't know that.
And like all the shows, like Price is Right, and they would bring out like the harder things to win if they gave out too many cars in the early part of the week.
So if some jackass wins too much, he ruins it for everyone.
Yeah, then it becomes harder later on. because they can only give out so much stuff.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
But did you... Okay, now we watched Wheel of Fortune religiously in our house when it was popular.
It wasn't one of my game shows, though. Game shows were, in the 80s, growing up, I mean, right? Everyone watched game shows.
It was
Just
huge.
constantly watch game shows, especially you're homesick from school or whatever. Game shows. When Gilligan's Island reruns weren't on, you were watching game shows
Price is Right.
until cartoons came on.
Yep.
Because you had morning cartoons, and then you had all those chintzy sitcoms from the 60s and 70s that were on in like the late morning, and then the afternoon was nothing but game shows until mid-afternoon. Yeah, because as kids we didn't watch soap operas. So until the afternoon when the after-school cartoons started to come on.
Right.
So it was game shows. Wheel of Fortune wasn't one of mine. I liked Tic-Tac-Toe. I liked
Joker's Wild.
Joker's Wild.
You remember that with the big cards?
Yeah.
And you would, like, flip them over.
And
obviously,
I always forget the
Press Your Luck.
Press Your Luck.
Everyone wants to say Whammy, but it's Press Your Luck.
No whammies, big bucks, and stop.
Whammy.
Yeah.
That was huge.
Yeah.
That was like insane huge show.
Yeah. That one I loved that one because I don't know, there was just something goofy about the and the
and then there's a guy that figured out that
it was a specific pattern to it.
Like they say he cheated. He didn't cheat. He just figured it out.
Well, it's sort of like counting cards when you go to casinos. That's not cheating.
No,
it's just against the rules.
Yeah, they just kick you out.
Yeah,
because it's
Yeah.
Because they're losing money.
Yeah, so I remember it was right around this time when Vanna White became like a mega celebrity. Somehow. Yeah.
I never, even as a kid, I didn't understand why she was... I guess because everybody was watching it.
Hey, I didn't know this. Not to interrupt you. We'll get right back to that.
Go ahead.
But Wheel of Fortune was created by Murph Griffith.
Okay, yeah.
And it was originally hosted by Chuck Woolery.
Love
Connection, and he also did Scrabble.
But Love Connection is what everybody...
Yeah, that was his big one. So yeah, Vanna White, film actress, apparently she did...
Film actress?
Hip-hop artist Nelly references sitting next to Vanna White in the first-class cabin on a flight to New York in his 2001 song Ride With Me. So she made hip-hop, apparently. Comedian Weird Al penned an original song Stuck in a Closet with Vanna White.
That's pretty funny.
In 87, disc jockey David Colin, credited as Dr. Dave, released a 12-inch single of a parody called Vanna White Pick Me a Letter to the song The Letter by the Box Tops. The Nintendo 64 game Paper Mario features a minor character named Vanna T, who was likely named after White. She appears as the hostess for Chuck Quizmo's quiz. Yeah, so Wheel of Fortune. All right, so what other big game shows were you watching at the time? Price is Right. Actually, I always watched The Price is Right. Family Feud, that's right. Yeah.
With Richard Dawson.
Yeah. Was he famous for something?
He was on Hogan's Heroes or whatever first, and then he was on Match Game PM. Mm-hmm. Which is where I think he became even more famous.
I didn't know he was on Hogan's Heroes.
Yeah, I think it was Hogan's Heroes.
Oh, interesting.
And then Match Game PM he was on, which was a spin-off, which Family Feud was a spin-off of Match Game PM.
Yeah, no, game shows were kind of a way of life at that time. And I guess, didn't we talk about this in another episode? It briefly came up. Like, there's still a thing. There's a game show network now and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I guess obviously they must be still a thing because Drew Carey does The Price is Right now.
Yeah.
And he looks bored out of his mind doing it.
Yeah, I can't stand him as The Price is Right because he doesn't have... Bob Barker was loved his job.
Oh yeah, no, he
loved it.
Yeah, that's he. You know why he loved his job?
Because he was sleeping with all the...
He was surrounded by gorgeous women and he sexually harassed them all.
I agree. I don't know if that's why he loved it. I think he really was
No, I'm sure that's exactly why he loved it. You know, Louis Anderson did it for a few years.
I didn't like it when Louis Anderson was on.
I like Louis Anderson too, but yeah, I can't.
It's hard to replace Richard Dawson.
Yeah, that's true.
But actually, Richard Dawson was replaced by what's his name, who did it for years, and I liked him, but then he killed himself.
Yeah, good old game shows. So,
real quick, I know we'll wrap up this segment, but you didn't watch it with your family at all?
No.
You didn't really watch it,
No, we didn't.
It was on before Jeopardy, and I always thought the irony of Wheel of Fortune was R, and then Jeopardy was you really had to kind of think about.
Yeah.
But it's still going, man. You gotta give credit.
Yeah, no, they all are. Jeopardy's still going too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Alex Trebek is more and more of a douche as with every year that goes by. Guy's kind of a prick.
He's always been that.
Yeah. So on that note, Alex Trebek is a prick. Come back in a moment. Where do broken hearts go?
Wow.
Something in the something.
I don't know if it's the beer, but I feel cooler. But maybe I'm just I'm having heat stroke.
I do not feel cooler.
It's like when somebody gets hypothermia to the point where they start taking their clothes off and they find them dead naked on like a mountaintop because
right.
I think I have that thing going on. I'm like, oh, it's beautiful. I can put a jacket on right now.
Don't do that. Definitely don't do that. So there we go. There was our episode, January of 1991. If you are a Patreon folk, your bonus episode this week will be Music of January 1991, spearheaded by Jesus Jones Doubt.
Oh my god!
You're saying, oh my god, but all right, we'll get to that in that particular episode. Next week, we are going to be talking about The Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs.
Silence of the Lambs. We're also going to be talking about the album Green Mind by Dinosaur Jr.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And we're also going to talk about the debut of Deadpool, who was created in February, who debuted in February of 1991.
Who's very relevant now.
He is very relevant now. And also, our bonus episode for next week is actually pretty kick-ass, because Street Fighter 2 debuted in the arcades. So,
that's cool.
And that's going to be a Patreon bonus episode, so sorry, folks. That's just how that thing thing goes. So, there we go. We have broken into year 2 of this...
I'm impressed.
Of this show. I don't know if we're going to make it all 120 episodes.
We will. And we have guests lined up.
I guess.
I think 1991 is going to be the year for us where we have a good amount of guests pop in and add to our knowledge of topics.
This is the dawning of the age of the guests.
If we could figure out how to do it, which I don't think it'll be hard.
That's assuming I don't quit before then. Which is entirely a possibility. I'm already sick of this shit.
Come on.
So yeah, come back next week. We're going to talk about lots of really cool crap. Thank you, folks, for listening. Thank you for being a friend. Travel down the road and back again. Your heart is true. You're a pal and a confidant. Whoa! I dropped my mic, so that's a good sign. Bye.